Hello friends, welcome to this YouTube video program. We are discussing about the major content point and the major concept that has been addressed in different units of different courses of MA Education program of Indira Gandhi National Open University. We have already discussed three courses, that is MES-011 Understanding Education, MES-012 Education Nature and Purposes, MES-016 that is Educational Research. And presently our focus is on the fourth course of MA Education program, that is MES-014. The course title is Societal Context of Education. And in this course already we have completed our discussion on earlier two blocks. This course has been designed in 5 different blocks. So block 1 and 2, the units that has been kept in block 1 and 2 we have already discussed. That is 3 units in block 1 and 3 units in block 2. And presently we are on block 3, okay, third block discuss about the school and community relationship, and how mutually school and community get benefited by the involvement of school with community and community with the schools. This block, that is the third block, has been designed in 5 different units, that is unit 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. Already we have discussed 4 units in this blocks, and at present we are in the last unit of this block, that is unit 11. And the title of this unit is Community Participation in Education. And in this unit major 3 content points are there. First is understanding community participation, second is community structure and functions in education, and the third major content point, that is problems and issues. Friends, in our first program, small video program, we have already discussed the concept of community, the concept of participation, and also we have discussed that how community participate in a very large scale for the development of education. And the next important content point, that is community structures and functions in education. So friends, let us try to concentrate, try to focus upon this point, that is the major point, that is community structures and functions in education. You see, in our earlier program we have discussed about that there is certain, when we talk about community participation, you will find that the participation may be you can say in terms of legislative, at the same time self-mobilized. Okay, so when we talk about participation in terms of legislative, it means certain policy framework for community participation in education education is there, just like the constitutional provisions that talks about you can say forming certain committees, certain groups at the local level, at the local government level, you can say, that may be at the panchayat level, for the implementation and for proper functioning of the schools, for proper participation in the schools, for proper participation in education. That is also one of the concern. Just like the 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Acts have advised introduction of you can say elected bodies at the district, sub-district and panchayat level. You can say the acts also provide for adequate representation of women, scheduled caste and scheduled tribes for the development of the education. And further, when we talk about you can say different committee, the recommendations of different committees and commissions, just like the National Policy on Education, popularly which is known as NPE 1986, and Program of Action POA revised in 1992, that is also called as the Revised National Policy on Education 1992, have emphasized the importance of decentralizing planning and management of education at all levels of people participation in education. And you will find that in NPE 1986, at the same time in POA, that is the revised NPE 1992, have talked about formation of village education committee, that's called as VEC, and various other participatory structures and their involvement in education in a result of constitutional commitment and policy recommendations. So here friends, when we talk about education and development of education, functioning of a school, especially at the village level, especially at the grassroots level, especially at the field level, you can't say that this is an independent matter. This is an isolated matter. Rather, the community, the society, the societal people, the community members, those are living at the society, those are living, you can say at the village, at the panchayat level, they are also equally involved in the process of education. You might have observed, you might have experienced that many a time you will find that without the involvement of the village, without the involvement of the community, no school can flourish. Okay, so many a time you will find during the natural calamity, during many adverse situations in the schools, so the first entity, the first group, that is the community, they come forward to the school and they participate in school development work because they feel that their children are studying in the school. So the matter which is happening in the school, that is not at all isolated matter. So that's why you must have observed that teachers and community members are cordially related with each other. And further, earlier we were discussing about the National Policy on Education NPE 1986, but now in NEP 2020, National Education Policy 2020 has also talked about how to involve community in a very large scale for the development of education. And so far as the Right to Education Act 2009, that's called as the RT Act, which is one of the fundamental, you can say, right of the children to get free and compulsory elementary education, that also strongly suggested, that also strongly recommended that every school should have a SMC, School Management Committee, and the School Management Committee should take care, should you can say supervise the schools, at the same time develop a proper school development plan, okay, for the development, for the progress of the schools, so that address the infrastructural development, at the same time development of human resources and day-to-day progress, day-to-day activities of the school. So that's why when we talk about you can say the community participation, then definitely it is related with certain policy frameworks for community participation in education. Maybe maybe it is based upon the NPE the recommendations of NPE 1986, recommendation of NEP 2020, at the same time recommendation of RTE, Right to Education Act 2009. Then further we can also discuss about the relationship between Panchayat Raj institution and community structures. You see, in the constitutional 73rd and 74th constitutional amendment, this has been explained and this has been properly placed that without a proper relationship between Panchayat Raj institutions, just like you can say at the Panchayat level, the local government, at the block level or at the district level, without proper relationship, proper connection between the local government with the schooling, with the school system, there is no progress of school system, there is no development of the school system. So this has been realized and this has been practiced in a very large scale also. Then further in this unit, different the community structures in education, because in the schools what we have observed and what we have experienced, many committees, many groups are there and the work for the development of the schools, just like we can take the example of Village Education Committee, popularly that's called as the VEC, then School Management Committee, as I was talking earlier, which is constituted as per the recommendation of RT Act 2009, that is called as the School Management Committee, SMC. Then in the school level also, for proper coordination between teacher and parents, teacher and community member, teacher and students, student, teacher and parents, you will find that mother teacher association, many schools they have formed mother teacher association, that's called as MTA, then parent teacher association, that's called as PTA, Then Mothers Association and Women Motivator Group, that's called as WMG. This is, you can say, for understanding community structures and their functions in depth. We would concentrate on analysis of VEC and PTA in the context of nature and composition of community fora, that is VEC and SMC, formation process involved, then area and context of their operation, at the same time roles and responsibilities. So what is the role and responsibility of the teacher for forming such groups, for operating such groups? So here you will find that this is a continuous practice in the schools, that every month or every quarter they discuss different issues with the parents about their children, about their progressive learning, about their personality, about their involvement in many other activities. Okay, you can say in their involvement in co-scholastic and other extracurricular activities. So this is you can say cordial environment in the school, that school never flourish, school never progress, school never achieve its goal independently. So that's why there is the responsibility, there is the role of parents, there is the role of community members for the development and for different activities of the school. So that's why this has been realized, this has been mentioned in our constitution, at the same time by different committees and commissions. And further, when we talk about you can say the SMC, the present practices in the school system, you see the major work of SMC is to develop a school development plan, that's called as SDP. So SDP is a 3 years plan, and SDP includes the infrastructural development of the school, requirement of teachers in the schools. Even if you see in NEP 2020, this has been mentioned that nearly 3.22 crores of out school children are there, dropout children are there in the age group of 6 to 17. Then how to bring back that huge number of students, that's called as 3.22 crores of children, again to the school system? So that's why this is the work of the school management committee, this is the work of the community to identify such group of children and to involve such group of children in the schooling system. Okay, so here what type of education should be implemented for them, whether they will get regular education or whether they will get a type of vocational education, a type of skill based and competency based education. So here this is it cannot be possible only by the involvement of the school, rather without involving the community this can't be possible. So further, the problems and issues of the community is also another important area, that is community mobilization and participation. So how to mobilize the community, how to involve the community in different activities, at the same time you can say how to empower community participation also, how to involve community, at the same time how to empower the community members so far as their role and responsibilities is concerned. Just like in the SMC, the SMC members, they're supposed to develop a school development plan, a SDP. So how they will develop the school development plan, that is also another concern. So friends, these are the certain important you can say content point that has been discussed in this unit, and we have completed our discussion the third block of MES-014, that is societal context of education. And in our next program we will discuss the fourth block of this fourth course, that is MES-014, societal context of education. Thank you.